24th song. இருக்கும் இயற்கையால் ஈச ஜீவர்கள் ஒரு பொருளேயாவர் உந்தி பர உபாதி உணர்வே வேறுந்தி பர. Bhagavan goes on to make us understand what is Ishvara and what is Jiva, what is Jivatma and what is Paramatma, what is God and what is an individual human being. That's all, human being. So, by the nature of existing, both Ishvara and Jiva are only one substance. When you see from the point of view of existence as the ultimate base, their adjunct knowledge or adjunct consciousness alone is different. We have seen this word adjunct number of times before. It is nothing but only a limitation because of which we understand the broader sense. If there is a big space, in the space we come and put a stool, though we are able to see the space around the stool and all that because of the existence of this stool. This tool is called as the Upadi for the space or the limiting adjunct. It limits. So, only such limitation is the difference between a Jiva and the Ishvara. Otherwise, they are same. There is no difference between Jiva and Ishvara. So, why? Because the concept of existence, the ultimate, you go on to the source. You go on doing apavada, going on, keep going backward to where did this God come from? Where did this Jiva come from? Ultimately, both come from existence is what we will come to know. So, by the nature of existence, both Jiva and Ishvara are one and the same. They are not two. Only the limitations. Ishvara has got Maya has a Upadi, and Jiva has got Avidya has his Upadi. Ishvara's Maya is Sutta Maya. Jiva's Maya or Avidya is Ashutta. This is the only difference because of which we have seen also the example, a king and his god, they are one and the same because they are both human beings. Only he's got the status called king, this guy has got the status called soldier. The king has a ruling umbrella, ruling stick in his hand. The soldier has got a sword in his hand. Take all that, both of them ultimately are human being. So ultimately they are one and the same. It's only the Upadis, the Upadi called whatever the king wields in his hand, or the freedom, the crown that he wears, and the sword that the soldier carries. It's a difference. So leave out Upadis, everything is same. Leave out the Upadis, Ishvara and the Jiva are one and the same. Now, that's exactly what is advised. How to, fine, this is true. How do I know it? How do I achieve that state? தன்னை உபாதி விட்டோர்வதுதான் ஈசன் தன்னை உணர்வதாமுந்தி பர தானாயோளிர்வதாலுந்தி பர. That is, knowing oneself, having given up one's adjunct upadis, is itself knowing God. Because he, the God, shines as oneself, as one's own reality, I am. So, how do we achieve Ishvara? How does the Jiva become Ishvara? By leaving out the assumed Upadis. So, you take it back to our Vichara Marga. That's exactly what we are doing. The Upadi called the I thought, we are trying to eliminate it. And when the Upadi is gone, we know we are nothing but Satchitananda. So, in the 25th sloka, it is being clearly given, all we need to do is removing the Upadi. And 19th sloka clearly told us how to achieve that leaving the Upadi by means of being self-attentive, by means of paying attention to the feeling of I. The I will drop. That I is not, that thought I is nothing but the Upadi we are talking about here in this sloka and the previous one. So the ultimate aim is only to drop the upadis. And in 26th, he says, தானாயிருத்தலே தன்னை அறிதலால் தானிரண்டற்றதாலுந்தி பர தன்மய நிஷ்டயிதுந்தி பர. Which means being self is itself knowing self. Because the self, there is no two self, one self to know another. It's all one and the same. It's all rolled in, as we have seen. It's all in the state of Advaita. This abidance as reality is known as Tanmaya Nishta. Tanmaya Nishta is having a staying put in the self. So the meaning is, since we do not have two selves, one self to know the other self, it's all one and the same. It is only appearing. Since the rope is only one, it is never a rope and a snake separately. Similarly, everything is only one here. There is only one self. So, how to know that self? To be the self. You cannot know, because you cannot apply the mind or whatever, because mind are all upadis, and we are doing upadi nasa. So at the level of upadi nasa, being self is knowing self. They are all same. Knowing is only is a term used for courtesy. Upachara vata, upachara word. So being self is knowing self. And as I told, we have seen in one of the lectures before, the first Mangala Sloka of Upadesa of Ulladu Narpadu talks about this in elaboration and how to be there, what is meditation and all that. Anyway, we will come to that subject again at an appropriate time. So in the sloka, it is what is Tanmaya Nishtai means, being, staying as self. That's all. Nothing else.